Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another One Piece manga chapter review. This week we have chapter 1141, chapter title Older Women. So that's an interesting title. Is this going to be more about giants? I feel like it has to be about some of the giant ladies. Perhaps Scopper's wife? Maybe not. Not entirely sure, but that's what comes to mind immediately. Okay, so we got our cover story. It's Who's Who standing over page one, who is chained down to the ground, and Who's Who is holding a sword over his face, about threatening to stab him, while Ulti is tied up, still tied up to that spinning wheel. So that is the continuation of the part in the last chapter where Ulti was saying, "Don't hurt page one," and now we see exactly what we're talking about. So page one is captured as well. Looks like he's bleeding already, so they've beaten him up a bit before chaining him down too, so... Only Child Yamato on the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 27. Can't hold back the tears of frustration. Yes, Ulti is crying as she's watching this happen. This also leads to the possibility that when Yamato and crew free Ulti on page one, they might join forces, out of gratitude, join forces with Yamato, and they will build up a sort of a team as they're going along. So that's a possibility. Notes from Oda. Just when I wrote them off, Pizza Hut steps up their corporate game. Ramen pizza? Yum. Okay, ramen pizza. That's a very interesting concept. Of course, it's going to be exclusive to Japan, Japanese Pizza Hut, but it would be something to try, ramen pizza. Okay, first panel, we've got Nami screaming and Road in the background. What a waste, we've been trekking through this massive castle all day, and we don't even have a single diamond, pearl, or piece of gold to show for it. They're done ransacking Aos Castle. Namitaso, you really shouldn't say such things out loud. It's not like I care about this monster Loki, you know. Loki? Giant diamond? Oh, it's nothing to worry about, pal. Just lay back and get some rest. Namitaso, can you maybe tone it down a bit? Ah, where's all the treasure? Namitaso. Now we're going back to the treasure tree, so yes, they are going to be talking about, or this chapter is going to go into a little bit more about, Scopper's wife. Frankie is speaking now. Ain't surprising, but there's a hell of a lot to take in here. It's incredible. To summarize, we basically live on the tree's enormous branches. And we get a diagram that shows the atom tree. The trunk, the branches spread out, and the houses are built on top of the branches. Each one has a long and rich history of its own. Wow, and that one? That branch was where Haugen Village used to be. Lightning struck it one day and it went up in flames. It had gotten too dry and old, so there was no way to put it out. The entire branch was severed from the tree to ensure the fire wouldn't spread to any of the other villages. So we've got a scene of a massive branch that has been chopped off. I see. I bet that was a tough call. I guess even atom trees aren't immune to time. That's Elbaf's biggest weakness. Fire and lightning. Now we're going back to the Western Village where everyone's partying. Western Village Feast. And Usopp, where did you sneak off to, Nami? I haven't seen Luffy or Zoro anywhere either. They're probably just exploring. That's right. Good thinking. Woo, Yar, you gotta meet our genius navigator. Ooh, ain't she a beauty? Hi, you pervy old man. Is she your type? Oh, my type, huh? Honestly, I'm into older women. You're the oldest guy in this world. There's no way you'll find a woman like that. Yeah. And we got Usopp jumping up and slapping Yoro in a comedic way. Youch! Elder Yoro! Hey Usopp, keep your mitts off the Elder's sword. Shut up, Dory. Hey, anyone want to try pulling out Excalibur? Don't, the blood loss will kill him. Oh my, he's so drunk. Look who's talking. So everyone's all drunk at the party. I guess it can't be helped though. And then Nami sits down next to Jinbei. This was his dream, making it all the way here. Wahaha, you can tell, replies Jinbei. Huh? Something's off. Where's Gerd-chan? So we got Sanji looking around for Gerd. They have bone fractures, and one of them looks like they've been stabbed. Really think a normal human could cause that kind of damage? What happened? Out with it. These guards are no jokes. What are you up to? No, nothing. I was merely doing research so I can improve my block castle. I found the front door all sliced up and the guards were... Are you hot? You're sweating bullets. It's because you keep staring at me. I'm gonna question the guards. No, they need rest. Well, I'm gonna tell Elder Yarl. But that'll ruin the party for him. You can't do that till you get all the facts straight. Nobody likes a party pooper. And then Bird starts thinking, if this Loki business gets out before Luffy, Tasso, and the others return, I'll be labeled a co-conspirator. Hopefully Loki just takes off once he's free. He can raise hell overseas for all I care. The only thing that worries me is that red hair look-alike. Then Gerd winds up her axe and smashes Road with the blunt side of it. Spill it. You know something, don't you? Yeah. Oh. Now we go back to the realm of the dead. Hey, Luffy. This isn't the scene I pictured from your description. He wasn't like this when I saw him. The animals have been attacked too. Hang in there, guys. Loki, what happened? And then we have Luffy and Zoro over the beaten up Loki. Who did this? He's big even for a giant. Loki, say something. Ah, he's breathing. Don't give him the key yet, Luffy. This changes things. It's not like you can go on a rampage with all these wounds. Come on, Zoro, lend me a hand. And Luffy starts trying to unlock the chains on Loki. Huh? Those chains must be made from sea stone. So when Luffy hops up onto the chain, he starts losing his strength and tipping over because the chains are made of sea stone. What could have taken out all these big beasts? Hold on, Luffy, let's wait a bit. This giant's about to die. We've got to help him. We don't owe him a thing. I haven't spoken to him, but we shouldn't take his bad reputation lightly. This guy's as big as oars. If we let him run loose, it may not end. If we let him run loose, it may not end pretty, even for a country like Elbaf. Just wait. Whoa, Zoro, what the heck? Zoro leaps up and kicks Loki. Yeah! And Loki screams. Seems those bloody wounds are definitely the real deal, so he's not faking. Damn you, what the hell? Flop. He's dead. If he's dead, that was simply his fate. You can be a real jerk. Fine, I'll go and I'll go along with unlocking him. But let's leave some sea stone around one of his legs. We can talk it. We can talk it out more once he regains consciousness. All right, then let's go fetch Chopper. The library is way too far away. I bet we'll find a doctor partying back at the village, though. If they find out we free Loki, they'll banish us, won't they? And we'll be banished. We've got no choice. I'm gonna go call a doctor. We should stock up on meat too, right? Knowing you, you won't be at your best if you don't eat. There's plenty of meat over there. No, wait, don't even joke about something like that. Those guys are my buddies. I can't just go hunting. I can just go hunting in the mountains later. Meat is meat, isn't it? Anyone who becomes my friend is off the menu. Alright, my bad. Let's find a doctor first. Huh? Please, don't do it! And something is falling out of the sky towards Luffy as he was trying to run away to find a doctor. And falling out of the sky. It's not falling out of the sky, it's sailing out of the sky. It's the boat. And it has the Harujan pirates, New Giant Warrior pirates on it. The entire crew. And Harujan is speaking. I told you island clouds can't sustain themselves in the realm of the dead. I thought we could use their last bit of buoyancy before they disappeared. I'll save you, Gerd-chan. And Sanji is with them. So it's Sanji, Harujan, and the rest of the New Giant Warrior pirates. So Sanji's the only Straw Hat there? It seems that way. And their boat is falling because the sky clouds, the island clouds, can't sustain themselves. Interesting. So once they get to the realm of the dead, the island clouds disappear or evaporate. We couldn't waste time getting a lift. This is an emergency. If Loki escapes, all hell will break loose. It's all over. We're gonna die. Sorry guys, I made a wrong call. I don't blame you. You were thinking about the safety of Elbaf. What a life. Gum gum. Balloon. So Luffy blows himself up and catches the giants. He expands large enough to catch the entire ship so it doesn't smash into the ground. Thank you. Even walking away from that hurt is a miracle. The Harujan and the crew have giant knots on their heads, so they did get banged up a little bit. But they didn't die because of the fall. If it weren't for you, we'd be dead for sure. Huff huff. We had to hurry, though I'm glad we made it in time. Please don't go through with your plan to release Loki, Straw Hat. I forced Roto to spill the beans. Forgive me, Luffy Tasso. You can't trust Loki. He's a cunning, ruthless trickster, black-hearted, beyond redemption. Since we were kids, even when he did or said something nice, it was all a lie. He's a fiend who betrays others without a second thought. Loki's a threat to the entire world. I'm afraid you're already too late, said Zoro. Huh? And the chains loosen and Loki stands up. Loki! What? I could have sworn he was out cold. Stop it. Loki, put Ragnar down. The accursed prince rises. Got Loki standing up and smiling. And of course he's massive in stature and he grabs his sword. So the next chapter is going to be Loki. He's not entirely free because, as Zoro said, they did leave the sea prism cuff on one of his legs. But the issue with that is that all depends on whether he's a devil fruit user or not. If he's a devil fruit user, then Prism Stone will weaken him and nullify his strength at least to some extent, a little bit. But if he's not a Devil Fruit user, then the chain doesn't really mean that much. Because if he's powerful enough, he can just break the Sea Prism Stone, shatter the chain, and go about his way. And if he's not strong enough to break the chain, it still hasn't. If he's not strong enough to break the chain still doesn't nullify his strength at all. So he's still at full power. Well, maybe not full power. It all depends on how much damage the God's Knights actually did to Loki. Like, he's bleeding out and was in pain. It looks like he's hurt, but he's standing up. He's grabbed his sword. He's smiling, so he's not really on death's door. So the question is, did the wounds from the God's Knights hurt Loki enough to weaken him significantly? Second question, is he a Devil Fruit user, so the Sea Prism Stone is having a weakening effect on him as well? If the answer to the second question is no, then they only have to worry about if the wounds did enough damage, but the fact he's standing suggests that the wounds didn't do that much. They did significant damage, but not enough to really nerf Loki too significantly. So I guess in the next chapter we're probably going to learn if Loki has Devil Fruit. That's going to be immediate, because if not, Loki's probably going to be able to go on a rampage even with the chain on his leg. He'll either be able to shatter it, or even if he can't remove it, he can still go on a rampage, in the immediate area at least. So that Devil Fruit question is going to come into play. We'll obviously probably get a little bit more information about what his sword, what exactly Ragnar is. And I guess we'll get a meeting with Harujin and Loki, which is interesting. They say that Loki is a threat to the entire world. Is he really that strong? Or are the warriors of Elbaf overestimating Loki? It feels like they wouldn't, because the warriors of Elbaf are already so strong that anyone they say is a threat to the world most likely really is a threat to the world. So there's that. But then Scopper was willing to entrust the key to the Straw Hats after confronting them. He felt that they must be strong enough to put Loki down, or at least make a good effort at putting Loki down if he went out of control. Or to trust them to handling Loki, so it's going to be interesting to see just how strong Loki is and what he actually wants to do once he's free. Obviously, he's out for revenge at this point, so the immediate revenge question is, does he want revenge against Elbaf more for locking him up? Or does he want revenge against the God Knights more right now for attacking him and killing, or maybe just really injuring his animal friends? So that's probably going to be the immediate thing on Loki's mind at this point. Harujin and the rest being there is probably going to be a factor against getting revenge against the God Knights first, because they're obviously going to talk about Loki, talk badly about Loki, and that will probably anger him, so it might put them back at the top of his list for revenge at the moment. So things are going to be kicking off on Elbaf. It's interesting that Sanji was the only one who came. So now we have Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro there immediately. And is Sanji being present a sign that there will be some combat going on? Hmm. Okay. So then we have Nami went back to the village and reunited with the others that are at the village. That's Nami, Jinbei, Brook, Nami, Jinbei, Brook, and Usopp. Then Robin and Frankie are, well, Frankie is near the treasure tree, exploring the treasure tree atom, and Nami and Chopper are at the library. Or not Nami. Robin and Chopper are still at our library. So the crew is a bit split up, but I have a feeling that before long we're going to start having the crew kind of work their way back together. Especially, it'll be interesting to see how Usopp reacts to this whole story about Loki. Because there's always been these fan theories about Usopp and Loki having some sort of connection. Maybe developing a rapport. Maybe Usopp inherits something from Loki. Loki takes a liking to Usopp because Usopp is a liar and a trickster. Loki's a trickster and liar, god of tricksters and liars. So there's a connection there. And the fan theories have been about Usopp meeting Loki. At this point, it feels like that might still be a possibility. I mean, the way the Giants all talk about Loki, there are really only two options. Either it's true that Loki is exactly what his reputation is, what the stories people tell about him are, or it's going to be a parallel to Syrup Village where there's a reputation that's very different from what the person actually is. So there's an exaggeration to Loki's story. And if there's an exaggeration, the question is how big of an exaggeration is it? Is it a slight exaggeration? Or is it a massive exaggeration due to a misunderstanding of Loki? Loki being a misunderstood character, which is also a very real possibility here at this point. So there's a lot to explore in Elbaf when we get to that point, which is quickly coming up at this point. We don't know what happened, and we still have the hanging question of the Owl Library, because the Owl Library is about to be attacked and the giant children kidnapped by the God Knights. So let's try and play out a scenario here. Loki clashes with the group here that freed him. While this clash is going on, the God's Knights attack our library. They take the children. Would they take Robin at that point? The God's Knights should know how important Robin is. So if they see Robin, would they alter their plan to include kidnapping Robin at that point? It's a question mark there. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but they're definitely taking the kids. They take the kids. The Giants at our library will go back to the village most likely to inform them. Then the Giants to the village will want to find the Straw Hats and the others. So that's probably going to be the catalyst for the Straw Hats reuniting. It will be a chain effect from the God's Knights kidnapping the children. That's my line of thinking for how the next section of the arc should play out. That seems like a likely possibility, but it could be entirely wrong, and it could go in a completely different direction. At this point, maybe Loki will just want to talk with the others. I don't see that being too likely with the way Harujan and the rest of the new giant warrior pirates feel, but it's an off chance possibility. But alright, that's going to do for this review. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next chapter review, which the page doesn't say there's a break next week, so maybe there won't be a break next week. If there isn't, then we will find out what happens next week, and if not, it'll be in 2 weeks. But either way, take care of yourselves until then.